Obama, because did you get a chance, Mr. Allen, to read the Canadians for Obama article on my website?
Yes, I did. And I also wrote the rebuttal, Obama is a joke, only fools believe in him. I think I printed it out. Who wrote that? Let me see here.
Tim Felger is the man's name, yes.
Yeah, Tim Felger. Well, you know, I'm trying to like Obama. I really am. but it's hard for me to like him because he, as has been said in our media, he lacks substance. And he talks about all this change that he's going to bring about. And I heard just today on the news that someone was calculating how much this change that he's talking about is going to cost Americans, which means cost taxpayers. And that it's
a lot.
$1 trillion.
Yeah.
The programs that he uses and all the good things he wants to do for the poor people of America and the world is going to cost the workers of America, the people that earn money and pay taxes, it's going to cost us approaching $1 trillion.
I know, it's...
I could say the same thing. Boy, I'm going to give everybody $1,000 bonus, as soon as I'm elected so that we can help the economy. But that's absurd. It's crazy. Where's the money going to come from?
Exactly. But speaking of Obama, I did want to, since you did read the article, I do want to bring up a comment here that is relevant to Canadian citizens. You heard, of course, about the U.S. border officials turning back one of the Canadian for Obama supporters because of her political beliefs. She's actually been denied entry into the United States for the length of Obama's nomination and longer should he win the presidency. What the hell?
Well, you know what? I think that particular border crossing station, the person or the people in charge, I do not believe that is national policy. I don't believe it's policy. I would be totally amazed and surprised if there was any kind of a policy, written policy, that says anybody that has political...
Well, it's not a written policy. That's the thing. Obviously, it's not a written policy. Obviously, Canadians and Americans are good friends. We're good neighbors. You know, we look out for each other as it's been illustrated through history. You're right. It is one border official, maybe two border officials deciding, you know what, we're not letting this happen, and they denied her entry. And they can get away with that, I guess, in the administration that they have there at those border offices. But doesn't it say something to you that's just a little bit scary?
Well, first of all, our law does state that we're not supposed to have any foreign influence in our elections. But that's a farce, too, because Hillary and Bill Clinton have had all kinds of Chinese support and Chinese money flowing into their coffers. And even though it's filtered through American towns and cities, we all are aware of where it's really coming from. So the fact that there has been foreign influence in our elections for decades is pretty much an accepted fact. But this particular incident was unfortunate for the person that was trying to come down here just to volunteer to help out. And I would see nothing wrong with that at all. I would have let her come in.
Right now, but on a personal level, what is your opinion of that? Do you think that Canadians should be volunteering for Barack Obama's campaign or any politician's campaign?
Well, there is an issue there. What if I were to come up and campaign for your officials that are running for office? We're getting into other countries' politics, and I have some guarded feelings about that. And we do have laws in the books that say, that's not allowed. Don't meddle in our affairs, so to speak. But volunteers, well, that's kind of the gray zone of meddling in our affairs. But here again, it did say in here that AJ did some fundraising, answered telephones. We knocked on doors, we canvassed. So it wasn't simply a matter of benign actions or volunteering, like putting buttons out or handing out flyers and stuff like that. They were pretty active and did some fundraising. So, gosh, I think you're in a gray zone here that borders on foreign influence, and personally, I don't like it.
Right. Well, hey, that's the reason I like to have you on the program, is that you answer questions honestly and you shoot straight with me, and I appreciate that. My personal opinion on it myself is if you came up here to help influence American elections, I'd be grateful for the help because, no one cares up here, really.
I'd be grateful for the help, but, I would be more I would be happier if you just came up to observe and listen
Right.
than to be active in it.
Well, the thing about Canadian politics is no one cares what happens one way or the other, and we're so apathetic up here that maybe we need a kick in the ass to get us paying attention. But I guess the bottom line is, I mean, they're not influencing people's vote. You know what I'm saying? They're not forcing people to vote for one candidate one way or the other.
Right.
So of that, if you were to come up here and do what they're doing and not influencing the vote, not making people vote, not affecting the vote, I guess I'm cool with it. And that works both ways. I don't really see a problem. It just
Too is if you or I went down to Mexico and tried to influence the voting down there, we'd probably get shot.
Oh, twice probably. You're right about that. That's an issue too. But it's interesting, isn't it? And again, I bring this up. Why do we care so much about what goes on in your country as Canadians? There was a poll. You probably read the research that said that if Barack Obama was running in a Canadian election, most people would vote for him, and they would be willing. Canadian citizens are willing to give away their right to vote in the Canadian election for the right to vote in an American election. Now, what the hell is that about?
We're bordering on insanity here. You know, let's get a hold of ourselves. We're voting for something that is charismatic, some personality trait that Mr. Obama has that is extremely shallow, and I think we're voting on a foundation of sand here. So Americans are kind of seeing this, and he's starting to make some flips, and he's not the perfection that everyone assumes he is, a new messiah for America. So I don't know. It's kind of I think we have to come to our senses here and realize that this person is going to lead the most powerful nation on earth for the next 4 years or longer, and is he going to hurt us or is he going to help us?
Yeah.
Is he going to worsen our economic situation, or is he going to improve it? And I don't see anything at all that points this one way or the other. So.
But you know that the Americans would not give away their right to vote in a Canadian election.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
The
problem too is now here, listen, Fred, 40% of Americans choose not to vote, or just are too darn lazy to vote, or they're so apathetic about our system that they feel their vote doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a sad situation. I think in Australia, it's a law that you have to vote.
Yeah, it's mandatory in Australia. If you don't vote, it's a criminal offense not to vote in. Maybe we should have that here. I don't know. I just think this says Canadians are boring. Like, it's as sad as it is to say that. I think that's the truth.
Well, I think you've got a great country up north there, and I admire it very much, and I'd like to travel and see it, but I haven't traveled that much in my own country and see my own country. But I've always wished to take that Trans-Canada train
yes.
to go across Canada on the train, and then maybe get on a boat and go up to Alaska. But that's always kind of been a dream that I've had to do someday. Maybe it'll happen.
But now, shoot straight with me. Be honest. Do you think we're boring?
No. I have friends from Canada who live in Toronto.
I'm sorry about that.
A lot of Canadians through the years. Actually, a couple professors at my veterinary school at Illinois were Canadian. Rod Rosiechuck was one. He's no longer at Illinois. I think he's at another university, but very nice people. I mean, just great people.
Nice but boring.
Pardon?
Nice but boring.
Not really boring. No more boring than Americans. Come on, we can find 2 for 1 boring down here to Canadians. So